But with that, you're playing a team in Pachuca, that is very talented, to say the least. They won the Liga MX championship for the 2022-2023 season, which is how they got a bye into the round of 16. And for CF Pachuca, who's coming in, they've got a lot of talent. This is a team that's coming off of a 3-2 win Saturday against FC Juarez. They're 18th in Liga MX play, they beat the currently 18th team. But also, they sit third in the league. So they beat the 18th team, bad words. They're sitting third in the league with a 7-1-2 record. They've got the most goals. This is what really took me by surprise, because I'm like, oh no! They've scored the most goals across the league. So sitting in third place in Liga MX with the most goals, 24 goals that they've scored. But on the flip side, they have given up a lot of goals. And they are a team that has struggled defensively. They've given up 18 goals, which is actually bottom third across the league, because they do play a very run and gun style, as the reports have indicated. They're a team that likes to play up tempo. They like to fly in a lot of numbers at you. Very similar scouting report, actually, to what we heard about Zapata before the Union played them. But across their roster, they've got a lot of talented goal scorers. And now you're going up against the Union, who, as I mentioned before, and just to remind you, is going to be without Damian Lowe and Jack Elliott in this game, and needing to have a back line that's going to look very interesting and unique.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Union kind of combat this quick attack of Pachuca here, considering what they're going to be without here. It's really going to come down to Kai and whoever plays on the other. Well, I guess we'll see what that back line looks in general. I would expect Kai to start as a fullback here, considering that, yes, the main danger here for Pachuca is going to be those widths. And so we just talked about it here with Glezis. Like, Glezis needs to not only have a better game, but needs to man that back line, because whoever he's going to play with is going to have that experience. And so I'm assuming that Solomon Rondan is going to be playing at that striker tomorrow, who, if you guys don't know, he's a very well experienced striker. He's played in England with West Brom, Newcastle. He's over here now in Mexico playing for Pachuca. And we'll see what the wingers are, but they do line up Drissi for the most part on that left, Macias or Figueroa on that right. That's where that speed's going to be coming from, especially with those channels from their fullbacks as well, with those overlap runs. Look, it's going to take a team effort.
Yeah.
The Union have to be on the same page at all times. And I do think that you're going to see a lot of continuity with that lineup. Obviously, you saw what happened on Saturday with some different changes, but you're probably going to see a lot. The only real question is obviously Julian Carranza, which if he doesn't play, honestly, Renee, I want to see your boy Marcus in there. Just better, because I just think with him and Ua, I want to see Marcus kind of spacing out and stretching that back line. And for Ua, dude, you've had a couple games under your belt. That rust needs to be shooken off, and we're probably going to rely on him to get some goals. And of course, like what happened in the first round with Saprissa, we don't want that. Like that wild back and forth, relying on that away goal, keep an eye on that aggregate. Like, we don't want to rely on that. So I think it's important to take care of business tomorrow, but also don't allow too many goals, because those away goals count for a lot, ladies and gentlemen. And then take care of business against Pachuca. But Liga MX teams are never easy, Renee. You always got to keep in mind just the physical play, the speed that all these teams, it feels like all these teams play a similar style of soccer. Yeah. So that's something to always keep an eye out for here.
Yes. So as we're talking about Pachuca, definitely some things to keep an eye on is their track record. You know, since joining the Premier Division of Liga MX back in '98, here's some numbers for you, because, you know, hardware is important, and your track record as a successful club is also. So in 26 years, they've won 7 national championships, 5 CONCACAF Champions Cups, the 2007 Superliga, and the 2006 Copa Sudamericana. This is a team that's won a lot of games. Most recently, they won back in 2016 to the 2017 season in CONCACAF play, and they also have had players such as Eric Sanchez, who was a part of that group. Now, this team also lines up in a 4-2-3-1 typically. We know last game in their Saturday matchup against FC Juarez, that number 18 team in Liga MX, they actually did not play most of their starters, still got the win. They didn't play their starters, still got the win. They didn't play their starters, still got the win. I'm sorry. I just didn't know if you guys heard me the first 2 times. Because they didn't play their starters and rested them and still got the win. Even though it was 3-2, they still got the win. But anyways, this is a team that likes to score. They like to play up tempo. They fly numbers at you. They attack the wide areas. They have, as you talk about, Rondon, who leads the team in scoring 6 goals in 10 matches. Wow. Chef's kiss to that one. I love scoring goals. That's a beautiful thing in my eyes, that you're consistently scoring goals for your team. And then also looking across their roster, they have guys, Carlos Moreno, who's in his 6th year with the club. You've got some other names like Luis Rodriguez, who has 23 appearances in his Champions Cup career. So there's a lot of veterans. In addition to the fact that they really fly with their 4-2-3-1, that front 4 is nothing to sneeze at. And they're going to come in well-rested and come in as a team that, after having a bye in the first round, is getting into their first, CONCACAF action. So I'm very much nervous. You've got a lot of veterans. You've got a lot of talent. You've got players, whether it's Javier Lopez, who's played with the San Jose Earthquakes, or Mexican international midfielder Eric Sanchez, or Moroccan international winger Usama Idrisi, Rondon, a Venezuelan, as you talk about, international goal-scoring striker. Listen, they've got a lot of dominant, veteran, experienced, championship-winning types of personnel across this roster, going up against a banged-up team in the Union that's going to be definitely without 2 of their best center backs. Yeah. And possibly without Julian Carranza.
Yeah, man, you guys talk about Jim and just like how the club, he like tries to build that culture, and it seems like it kind of resembles a little bit of Jim's personality as well. Well, listen, Pachuca's manager, they definitely have gathered his personality as well. Guillermo Alma, Uruguayan manager, 57 years old. He's been in the Liga MX for a little bit now. He's known for his stint with Santos Lugano, where a very famous manager, El Piojo in Mexico, who we saw last year with Querétaro, they had a very infamous brawl, essentially, when he was when Guillermo was with Santos Lugano. So we always see here, we've actually seen in CCL back then, when Atlanta United came in here in 21. We all remember Heinze versus Curtin. That was an epic battle. Ali Bedoya had to get in the middle of that. Will we see Almada versus Jim Curtin? Will Almada get a card again in this one? Could we see some shithouser here on the sidelines? That's definitely something to keep an eye out for. But it does feel like Pachuca kind of play with this personality as well. They're very physical too, and they don't take any crap from anyone. So it's going to be a fun one. I think the big question here for me, Renee, is, will the fans jinx Pachuca and go to the Rocky Steps tomorrow before the match? That's what we're all dying to know.
Oh, please. Go.
Go
see Rocky. We will drive you. We will literally drive. And if you want to add to it, go get some cheesesteaks. Go see the Rocky statue. Go take a picture on the steps of the art museum. Whatever it takes, because listen, we just saw it with Saprissa.
Yeah.
Teams, when they visit Philly, or even the fact that it's down in Chester, they make the trip. They want to see all the historic components of Philly. So let's, Ivan, Eric, Jillian, Barbara, whoever we need to, let's rally up the buses and go give them a tour. Go see the Rocky statue, please. Because that would be great. I think we could use whatever extra, positive vibes or whatever luck that we can have to help out.